Gave up a TV job to start a podcast in your basement. If that doesn't scream midlife crisis, I don't know what does.
It was Championship Sunday here in Indianapolis. What's the mindset then coming in as a defending champion?
I want to win. No, I want to win.
The young lady over my shoulder, Caitlin Clark.
Not the best looking guy. And I don't think anyone's going to sit here and say, Matt Randazzo was really good looking.
What has this last month, 2 months, 3 months been like for you? It's an important fan base for the Fighting Illini, is it not?
It is.
He turned 69 years young last week. He looked good, Coach.
Oh, trying. Thank you.
Welcome to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Thursday in the Quad Cities. Thursday, August 28th. Thank you guys so much for joining us. A little bit of a later start. Technology and me weren't best of friends this morning, but it looks like everything is back going in the right direction. So that is a good thing. Better late than never. Thank you guys for joining us. If you're watching us on YouTube live, thank you for sticking with us. A couple false starts. We threw the flag, couple penalties, we're good to go. So we're live on YouTube. If you have subscribed, thank you. If you have not subscribed, please do so ASAP. Tell a friend or 2 or 10 about what we're doing each and every weekday right here in the Quad Cities. We're also live on X. We appreciate everyone who watches the show there as well. X has been very, very good to us. And we also are on all the podcasting platforms as well. So check us out throughout the day, the week, the weekend, all that kind of stuff. Off the Air with Matt Randazzo, Spotify, iHeart, Apple, Podbean, you name it, you can check out Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. So thank you guys for doing that there as well. This is the last studio show of the week. And maybe a good thing the way things are going. Tomorrow we're going to be on the road. The show at Spartan Stadium over at Pleasant Valley High School will be live at 10 a.m. Bunch of fun things planned for week 1 of the high school football season. And of course, we're going to Pleasant Valley because it's Bettendorf and Pleasant Valley and the Hy-Vee Bowl. It's a ton of fun, a huge rivalry. So high school football season now just more than 24 hours away. So excited about that. Of course, there is a game tonight at Brady Street Stadium. Muscatine and Davenport North doing battle tonight as well. We talked with both coaches the last couple weeks, so you can go back and check out those shows on the YouTube page as well. Fun show lined up for today. Tom Kakert will be here in a matter of moments to talk about Albany. We're kind of tired of talking about big picture stuff with Iowa. The talk is nearly over. Iowa kicks off in about 48 hours when they welcome Albany to town. So Tom Kakert will be here with that, plus some cool stuff when it comes to former Hawkeyes making it in the NFL. Of course, cut day was yesterday, I believe, maybe the day before. So several Hawkeyes making teams, and we'll kind of talk a little bit about that with him as well. Yesterday we talked with St. Ambrose, previewed the Bees. Today we'll be joined by Steve Bell, the Augustana head coach, as he gets ready for yet another season at Augustana. Looking forward to that. And then, as most of you know, coming up this weekend, I get to begin my radio career, if that's a thing, but I'll be taking over as the pregame host for the Iowa Football Radio Network. I'll be hosting the Hawkeye Tailgate show. And super excited about it. And a guy that I grew up listening, I shouldn't say grew up because I wasn't young when I was listening, but a guy who did it for about 20 years, Jim Albracht, will be on the show. Of course, Jim Albracht, a former sports director here in the Quad Cities, radio host with Albracht in the AM. So we searched him down, and we have Jim Albracht coming on. A lot of fun with that as well. That and much, much more. I do want to let people know, Friday tomorrow, obviously excited about the early show. It'll be a different Friday for me. For the last 25 years, I've been running around the Quad Cities, getting high school football highlights and getting ready for the show at the end of the night. So a little different for me. I'm excited. I'm going to be at my alma mater. They've asked me to do PA for the first game. So I'll be over at Augustana for the Alabama Pioneers game. Do a little PA there, but also I want to let people know that tomorrow night, a really cool, we did it before, but we did it to tape and we put it up in the morning, but View from the West will be going live tomorrow at 10:15 on YouTube. All the stats, scores, information you want, live coaches interviews, all that great stuff. Mitch and Greg do a great job. So that show tomorrow, I'll be part of that as well. So if you're not subscribed to YouTube, or excuse me, to View from the West on YouTube, do that because it's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow night. 10:15. So go check that out on all of the YouTube channels and all of those kind of things. It'll be up on the podcasting platforms soon after as well. So that's something I'm looking forward to. Excited about that tomorrow. Of course, we talked about the Hawkeye Tailgate show. Don't forget the new home for Hawkeye football here in the Quad Cities is Vintage Radio, WQUD 107.7 FM here in the Quad Cities. So last night they had the Kirk Ferentz Coaches Show live from Iowa City. So a great partner with the Hawkeye Radio Network, a new partner with the Hawkeye Radio Network, a new affiliate, if you will. So make sure you get your radio dials and all that kind of stuff, your radio settings. There's no such thing as dials anymore, but your radio settings changed. Vintage Radio, 3 p.m. is the Hawkeye Tailgate Show coming up this Saturday around the state of Iowa, across the state of Iowa, but right here on Vintage Radio here here in the Quad Cities. Excited about that as well. So I've never done PA. I'm going to do that. Never done this radio pregame stuff. I'm going to do that. So it's going to be an interesting 48 hours for myself. Excited about it, to say the least. So also, last thing I want to mention, no show on Monday. Labor Day, we will be walking in the Labor Day parade with Off the Air. We'll probably have a mobile party experience trailer with us and a couple of surprises along the way. So look for us at the Labor Day parade in Rock Island. Say hi, all of those kind of things as well. Excited to do that coming up on Monday. A little baseball before we get rolling. Cubs lose 12-3. Brewers lost as well. So Cubs still 6.5 back in the division. They're 4 up in the wild card right now. And I might talk about this later in the show, but the Cardinals lost again to the Pirates 2-1. They're now 4 games under 500, and the Busch Stadium's empty these days. It just simply is. And not that it was always full, despite what they're going to let you believe, but they had under 20,000 people the other night, and last night looked bad as well. So an interesting time if you're a Cardinal fan, and I think Cardinal fans are a little frustrated as well. So maybe we'll talk about that, do a Randazzo's rant later on in this show or this week as well about Cardinal baseball. But for now, for one last time before kickoff, we got to talk about what's coming up this Saturday and a big game in Iowa City. So let's talk a little Hawkeyes. Tom Kakert joining me now from the Hawkeye Report. Tom, I feel like we've talked about this Iowa football season. We are now, 48 hours away from actual football at Kinnick Stadium. Before we talk about the game in Albany and all that kind of stuff, I want to get your opinions and thoughts on a couple cool notes. One, the Wave voted yesterday as the best college football tradition, I think, for the second straight year. I know it's like a little cliche because everybody knows how great it is, but anytime that thing is put in the spotlight, I think it's an awesome thing, and it deserves it as well, does it not?
Oh, absolutely. It's like the coolest thing in sports. I mean, it's just what opposing fans come to Kinnick to do, and they'll be like, can't wait to do the wave. To wave to the kids. So yeah. It's just, it's a great tradition. It's awesome. It's, something that everybody looks forward to at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, and it's cool because even opposing teams, like, they know about it and all those kind of things as well. Did you listen to Hawk Talk last night? It had obviously Kirk and Dolph. Our good friend Pat Anger was on the show as well. Obviously heard here in the Quad Cities on the new home for Iowa football here in the Quad Cities, Vintage FM 107.7. How did Pat do? I listened to parts of it. I didn't listen to all of it.
Made fun of himself. As he usually does, talked about just silly things. Talked about his bank account and everything else. And
I did hear the part.
It was classic.
I heard the part where he was talking about like how 3 guys are married on the team and that NIL money must be pretty good because they couldn't afford that back in the day. That was really well done. Really well done. So. Yeah. The venue, a new venue in Iowa City, everything looked good on that end as well, from what I saw.
A lot of production there. They got a whole set.
But that's
big time.
When you got Corey Sheets, steering the ship of this mighty Hawkeye radio network, good things happen, right?
Yeah, we got Dolph, and you got Pat, you got Coach Ferentz. I mean, what else do you need?
Yeah. What can go wrong? What can go wrong? So, it's every Wednesday, 6:30 to 8, on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Make sure you check it out and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, game week is here. And it's funny because I feel like we've talked about everything you can talk about, and now you can finally turn the page and talk about an opponent. So I kind of want to start there with you. Can you tell us about Albany? Obviously, the point spread is massive. Iowa's a huge favorite, all those kind of things. What do we know about Albany as they come in on Saturday?
You know what people always say is that talking season is over now. Yeah. We're done with talking season. It's football season now. What do we know about Albany? We know they were 4-8 last year. We knew they weren't very good. Their coach left not long ago, took a job at Penn State. Got an interim coach who was offensive coordinator at one time, I think at Delaware, and They got a new quarterback who didn't play a whole lot at Buffalo last year. The year before, he was at Old Dominion. Um, they've got some pieces back on defense, but their defense wasn't great last year. So um, there's a reason why the point spread opened at 35 and went to 37.5 now, I think. So in some places, probably will go higher. You look at just look at last year. I think Iowa's offense is going to be better than it was last year, and they beat a good Illinois State team 40-0.
Yeah.
So it's just, I'm putting two and two together here. You're facing a more inferior team than Illinois State was last year, and probably a better team from Iowa, at least from a passing perspective. You know what I'm looking forward to seeing on Saturday is just Gronowski's performance in general, and particularly him running the football. Because we talked to him on Tuesday, he's like, yeah, they kind of told me, we're wondering if they put any kind of like a governor on him, if you will, or restrictions on him for running the football. And he's like, no, if they see two safeties turn their back, he's like, go ahead, take off, run. Yeah. So I think he's going to do some of that. I think he's, I think they're going to get the passing game going a little bit, see what that ground game does. It's fascinating that two deep with four guys listed at running back. And then Kirk also says that Nathan McNeil, the true freshman who's not on the list, is green lighted to play. So that's 5 running backs. I don't know how you're going to feed all those mouths and make them happy, but I wonder if somebody will just emerge from that pack.
Did you learn anything from the two deeps? What was the headline that came out Monday afternoon, I believe? What was the headline when those two deeps came out? What popped out to Tom Kakert?
Good question. Probably the running back thing was a big thing. I thought just interesting that they had 4 guys and, either or for the top spot, either or for the second spot. And one of them wasn't McNeil. Everybody's made a big deal about Sam Phillips being ahead of Reese Vanderzee, and I wasn't surprised by that because I talked to John Budmeyer at Media Day, and he told me that was probably the way they were going to run things, was there was going to end up being the 3 vets, and that's who it is, and Vanderzee is the backup. And left tackle was interesting. Kirk did admit, even though it's an or thing, that Trevor Lauk's going to get the start on Saturday, but they expect Jack Dotzler's going to play. So I had asked George Barnett at Media Day if he would be open to like a rotation at left tackle, because I didn't know if that was one of those positions where you don't want to rotate guys. And he's like, no, I'd be comfortable doing that. So I think they'll do some of that. They'll try to get Jack out there and get him some reps, but I think they won't have any the opportunities will be there to get reps this week.
And I think ideally long term, you don't want to be rotating come Big Ten play. Kind of find somebody gelling.
No, you got to find somebody.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Find somebody.
Tom Kakert joining us right now from the Hawkeye Report on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. You got to talk to the players and Kirk on Tuesday. I got to sneak up there for a little bit of it. What'd you get out of Tuesday? Obviously, that you're not going to get much, and it's against an opponent that you don't really need to know much about, I guess. But what did you take from? And Kirk did mention, going back to the running back stuff, that McNeil looks good, and he's the freshman that looks ready to play, or has the green light, I think he said, something along those lines to play.
Yeah, the green light. Yeah.
What'd you take from Tuesday? Did you get anything from Kirk that kind of, piqued your interest a little bit as we get ready to kick off the season?
Not really, but I'll say one thing that was interesting to me was Gronowski being a captain. Not that I was surprised he was a captain, but that's not usually how it happens. It's just the new guy. They're usually going to stick with like guys who've been in the program for 3-4 years as being team captains. That's just kind of how it usually operates there. And to me, and especially because he was recovering from surgery, didn't do a lot in the spring. He was just sort of there. Um, that just tells me that he has the respect and commands the respect of his teammates in the locker room and off the field, in the weight room and everything. And they respect the job that he's doing because they made him a captain. Because that's the leadership council that's making that decision. And it's the three other guys are the guys that they sent to Vegas. So Gronowski being that fourth guy as a captain just speaks to how he's carried himself in that building for the last 8 months, and how that's earned him the respect of all the guys who've been wearing that uniform for 3, 4, 5 years.
I got to chat with Gronowski, everybody did, but I got to pull him to the side. You'll hear that interview on the Hawkeye Tailgate show coming up on the pregame on Saturday. But we talked about it. I think you uncovered it. It was funny. I talked to Weitzel about it, and he didn't even know, but he's got a 49-6 overall record. And you talked about him being a captain. Probably that leadership comes from a lot of winning in the past as well. I think Kellen Moore has the record at 50 and 3, something crazy. He could win his 50th. He could win his 50th game as a quarterback at the college football level. Doesn't that all tie in together? Captain, leader, winner. I mean, what his resume and background is kind of goes with that captain stuff. 50 wins as a starting quarterback is crazy, Tommy. There's starting line quarterbacks for the Detroit Lions that played a long time that didn't get to 50 victories. So your thoughts on that milestone and it kind of all tying in together when it comes to captain, leader, etc.
Yeah, I don't care what level of football you're at. Going 49-6 as a starting quarterback is awfully impressive. So hats off to him and his teammates at South Dakota State for getting that far. But he can, everybody's focused on Kirk tying Woody Hayes on Saturday, but he's going to tie Kellen Moore for that record. By the way, Gronowski's also faced Albany before. They faced him, I think it was 3 years ago in the semifinals of the FCS playoffs, and beat the pants off of him, like 59-0. I mean, it was just a slaughter. So, so he's faced him before. He knows what to expect. And to me, Albany's kind of on the little bit of the decline right now. So I suspect Iowa's going to put one on him here on Saturday.
Let's flip to the defensive side of the football. What are the headlines? Yep. What are the questions? What are the things that you want to see on Saturday, knowing that like it is a lesser opponent and it is you're probably not going to get a lot of, and maybe more on the offensive side of things. You're not getting a lot of bells and whistles with Iowa State coming up, but defensively, where are your eyes when that defense goes to the field?
Linebacker and cornerback, I think, are going to be my two focuses because I want to see what Jaden Harrell and Carson Shire, and if he's out there, Jackson Rexroth, are going to do defensively. I want to see what that looks like. And at corner, Kirk has said and Phil Parker said they've got three guys competing for two jobs, and Deshaun Lee and TJ Holler are going to be out there first, and then it's Jalen Watson. So we'll see if he can break through, if he can unseat one of those guys. And I'm curious that rotation. I've never seen one guy listed at three different positions in the two deeps, but that's what Cohen Entringer is. So that tells me he's incredibly versatile. It also made me wonder if we're going to see a situation where when they go to 4-3, he's going to be at strong safety, but are they going to move him over to free and take Xavier Wampa off the field like they did with him at strong with Castro, when Castro would go from cash to strong safety when they were in 4-3? Are they going to do that and kind of move Lutmer back to strong and then move Cohen to free and X comes off the field during those situations where they're in a 4-3. I think that's on the table. I think that's what they're trying to tell us, but we'll see if that actually happens.
Tom Kakert joining us now right now on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Let's put Albany to bed. I got a few other things I want to chat with you about. But do you have a final score prediction? What happens on Saturday at Kinnick Stadium? 5 o'clock start at Kinnick Stadium, a different time in Iowa City for Iowa to kick off. But do you have a prediction, a score? Have you done that yet?
I'm going with 45-zip.
Ooh.
I don't think they're going to score. I don't think they're going to score.
Wow.
I think it's going to be a long day. Long day for the I don't even know what their nickname is. The Patroons. They're not the Patroons though. That was the CBA team.
What? They're the
Great
Danes.
Something.
Great Danes.
Great Danes. Yeah, it's
Come on,
Great Danes.
Kakert, get your stuff together. No, I would agree.
It's
I
a
think
dog. I should know it.
It's going to be a good day to be a Hawkeye, I think. And I think a performance that happens on Saturday will really get things rocking and rolling for, of course, the Cy-Hawk game and games.
My pick to click was my pick to click is Caden Weechin. I told Mr. Anger that since he's such a big fan of Weege that he's gonna run one in or catch a pass on a touchdown, and he's gonna take one back on a punt.
All right, you're gonna be doing a victory lap come Monday or Tuesday, probably Tuesday because Monday I'm doing a show. But
if any of those happen, yeah, I'm gonna be I'll be pulling a Barry Horowitz.
Yeah. So Tom, the NFL cuts came and went, and I want to talk about a couple people. First off, I got to start with my guy, Logan Lee, making the roster, the 53-man roster at Pittsburgh. Really cool to see. You've known him for a long time. I have as well. Not a guy that works harder than Logan Lee. And you look at the Steelers roster, and you have Caleb Johnson, you have Y.A. Black, and you have Logan Lee, making that Steeler roster. Really cool for the Hawkeyes to have 3 guys in Pittsburgh, and Logan Lee is as good as they get.
Yeah, it's awesome. He's a long snapper now too, backup long snapper for him. So he's you make yourself useful, make yourself indispensable, and little things like that get you on the roster for another year. So it's awesome for Logan, awesome for YA. Good to see KJ. Those guys don't have to change their colors; they can have that same color scheme. So, guys are. I was disappointed that like Amir and Brandon Smith got cut. I thought maybe they were going to hang on with the Jets and with the Giants, but I think they both got re-signed on the practice squad, which isn't bad. I mean, I think the practice squad pays over $200K a year. I mean, it's a good job if you can get it.
Yeah.
Those guys are. I'm happy for all those guys that made it. I saw Nick Neiman got picked up by the Packers today after getting cut. So happy for Nick that he's still hanging in there too.
Well, I want to hop in because I think the coolest one, and we'll show it now, is Jay Higgins.
Jay Higg.
And really cool what the Ravens did, going from undrafted to making the 53-man roster. Before we talk about it, let's take a look at the cool video that the Ravens put out on Jay Higgins.
Hey man, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Doing good?
Heart rate's a little high right now.
Yeah, it's a tough day.
Yes, sir.
These are the hardest days for me to make these decisions, and you made it. You made it. Because I love Hawkeyes. And you made the team, man. You just busted your ass every day. You kept stacking good days, and you earned it, man. And it's a hard position to make, but you earned it.
Dude, I had a long night last night. That's crazy.
You made it.
That's crazy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so this is yours.
I appreciate it.
I'm going to actually take it back from you, but I'll give it back to you later today.
I don't even know if I believe it. I don't even know if it feels real.
When I met with you guys that first time, I told you guys you're being evaluated every single day. And you're one of the rare guys that never takes a moment off, never takes a play off, never takes a day off.
Yes, sir.
And we're proud of you. It's hard, man. It's hard to make this team, and it's really hard to make this team as an undrafted guy.
Yeah.
But there's no reason why you can't be a player in the NFL for 15 years the way you play.
Yes, sir.
You got to keep stacking good days, right?
Yes, sir. I just knew there were so many good dudes. That's why, like, that was the hardest part. Like, I just knew the roster was loaded, so.
But you earned it.
They brought me into the office.
What they saying?
He said I made it.
No, you didn't, Jay.
He said I made it.
Okay, let me call you back. Let me call you back.
All right,
I love you. I love you.
At this level, like, there's so much out of your control.